Hey man, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode we are going to give a little update on the G111, make a couple cuts with it, talk about kind of some of the ups and downs I've had with it, long-term testing. It's actually been, a pretty useful little tool. Welcome to Man Time. Alright, so this is my G111, and I did a video on this, like a full, full video on it. And I believe it's called like a man's review of the G111. But this is like, I don't know, a year later, 9 months, something like that. And I've been using it on and off. This is one of those saws that just kind of stays dirty, because you throw it in your car and you take it with you and then, put it back in the shop and it's kind of one of those go-to saws. I just started and ran, and some downsides of it. Major downside is going to be the AV mount on the front part of the handle here. I'm on my, I think, fourth one, changing that out like constantly. But right now it's solid and it's there, and I don't know if this is the steel one or another Holzfforma one. I ended up ordering like 4 of them, one from the dealer, and then they sell the 3-pack for as much as you can buy the one from the steel dealer, but the steel dealer one actually works. Another problem I had, I just went to use this the other day, and so I turn it over and I'm filling it up with gas, and like gas kind of spills out on it, and then I turn it back over and I'm pulling on this thing and pulling on this thing, just killing myself trying to get it started. And it smells like gas, and because I spilled gas on it. Next day I go to start it, it does the same thing, smells like gas. And look at here. And I'd like to say it was like an animal chewing at it, but I mean it is kind of like cracking all the way up and down it, and then the major kind of failure point there. But it's just not a good fuel line. So I went to Steel, ordered one of those, of course, from Steel, I say Steel, I guess. It took like 3 weeks. So I ended up ordering one from Steel and then ordering one from eBay, and the eBay one actually got here faster, which is probably another Holzfforma one. But other than that, yeah, it came with the Holzfforma bar, and I'm actually really happy with the bar. Chain, not so much. It's a semi-chisel, and several of the teeth here have taken on some amount of damage, and I keep kind of fighting it. I finally sharpened it with the Steel all-in-one. I don't have it with me here, but I got a fresh chain, freshly sharpened the chain that came with it. I would recommend, what I'm going to do with it, I wouldn't recommend anything, I guess. Because what I would recommend is to not use the chain. But I mean, hell, it's like free, right? You get the bar and chain and the saw for just over $300. It's like throwing in a free chain or a free. Anyways, I'm going to use the chain until it's really rocked and I can't use it anymore. But it doesn't cut as good as either Steel Pico or the Oregon chain is typically what I run on my other hand saws. So, but it's a new time of the year. I got it tuned up for this more hot, humid weather. We're getting to feels like 100 with humidity in the 60s, 70s, 80s, the deal. So I'm going to start this one up, and then we'll go make some cuts with it and see if it isn't holding up, long term, what you think of it anyway. I've got an old piece of pine here. I'm going to cut some of this, and then we'll cut some fresh oak also. love these dog days of summer. Well, I guess the real question is whether or not I'm happy with it, and the answer is yes. For, you know, 300 bucks, you're not going to be able to get anything close to it from Stihl, Husqvarna, Echo, anything like that. Even though it is a clone saw, I've had the rubber. I guess it's just mainly the rubber that's the failure point on these, right? The fuel line, but 3 anti-vibe mounts. Before that, and I ended up changing all 3 of them the last time. And another thing I did, actually, I took a heat gun and heated up this handle and tried to kind of like bend it, because it seemed like it was kind of bound up, you know, so maybe a Stihl handle. I was actually looking to try to buy one, but couldn't find one, so I just heated it up and kind of bent it. And since I did that and changed the mount out after the 3rd time, I was like, something's got to change, right? Anyways, so, you know, for 320 bucks or whatever it was, I'm happy with the purchase. If you're looking at getting one, I ended up having to change to the factory Stihl carburetor, because the carburetor that came on it wasn't good either. And I highlight that in my, you know, first initial video of it. So anyways, that's going to do it for today on Man Time. You like this type of stuff, make sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and get out there and have you some man time too.